Okay, so what is this video about? Well, we will be ranking the profiles of shoes, the tracks, based on how great they are for stomping tinies, micros, and nanos. So we will be basing this around two different criteria: stomping efficiency and aesthetics. Like, imagine you're in the kitchen, minding your own business, and then see some tiny scatter on the floor. Now, your first impulse should be to stomp it, but depending on what kind of shoes you wear at the time, it might survive just fine. Obviously, that's a no-go. I will also focus especially on the ball of the foot area, so that's probably what you're going to use to crush with. So 1 to 5 crushing effectiveness. Now, being a tiny myself, do I look at this and say to myself, yeah, I would like to have my guts splattered on this? Does the pattern look interesting? Does it look inviting? So I can add an additional 0 to 3 points in here. For the purpose of the video, tiny is like 3 centimeters, 1.2 inches or bigger. Micro is smaller than that, 3 centimeters to 1 centimeter, so 0.4 inches. And the nano is below that, 1 centimeter to 5 millimeters, so 0.2 inches. So if you disagree with anything, remember I'm a tiny, you can just disregard my opinion considering I'm not a real person, or maybe leave a comment telling me why exactly I'm wrong. Okay, let's have a first look over here, and immediately we can see some issues. There is this giant archway. Like, it's no problem for a tiny to survive this, even standing up. This is just unacceptable for our challenge. And then let's look at the front area, and you can see, nope, it's not that much better. And then you have these side bridges. You sure you can get stuck in there? It's going to be unpleasant, but you're probably going to be able to survive this. Plenty are going to survive this. And then the heel has the exact same issue. Only 40% of the sole actually touch the ground. So this is already garbage, so 1 out of 5. Then when it comes to aesthetics, I guess this is better than nothing. The patterns look kind of nice, but there are definitely better ones. So this is going to get 1 aesthetic point, and so this will get 2 out of 8 points total. Let's move on to what might be my favorite shoes ever made. I don't wear them myself, but a guy can look 1,000,000 times better with Converse on. And when it comes to crushing effectiveness, we can already see this is a lot better than what we had to deal with before. The biggest problem is this area over here, but it's not really steep at all. Like, you couldn't survive this standing up. You would have to lay down. And it is relatively smallish, and then right next to it, you have this giant flat area. Like, not even a nano is going to survive these ones. Then, of course, you have the pattern over here, which there is a lot of space for a nanos to survive. And a micro might also survive some of these, but not that lickly. What also helps is that this pattern is constantly changing, like it's a more complicated shape. So even if you're trying to jump out of the way, it's not like you can easily get to one of these spaces. So I give this a crushing effectiveness of 3 out of 5. Now the aesthetics, yeah, these are iconic. These have just become the symbol for sneaker soles. I don't really have a choice. This is 3 out of 3. So this is now at 6 out of 8. Vans, another one with very iconic pattern. But yeah, there's a problem here. The waffle shape makes so only 20% actually touch the ground. But unlike with the Timberlands, Thar had huge safe areas. This on has them split up, so no tiny will survive this. But most micros and nanos. Micros also can't stand up, but have to crouch. Because of that, it will get a 2 out of 5. Now, when it comes to, do I want to be crushed under this? I mean, it would have to be a tiny, because again, a micro will just be phenomenal. But you can just imagine different limbs ending in different holes of this. You're definitely going to cling to them like dirt, but it's useless for like micros and nanos. So this is going to get a 2 out of 3. Moving on to what do we have? We have Jordans. Again, very great shoes. Sadly, can't factor that into it. Let's look at what we got for the crushing. We have a small safe area. It's not that big, but I wouldn't call it small either. It's not that high, at least. There's the logo in the middle, so that does help to break it up. Much more of a problem is this area down here, you can see in the middle. And right to the side, we also have survival areas. Again, the ball of the foot matters more because that's probably what you're going to use to crush, but there's definitely going to be a point reduction for that. So I'm going to say this is getting a 3 out of 5. Now, aesthetics. I mean, just look at this round spot over here. This just begs you to be a bullseye, to stomp your tinies right in the middle of it. You and your pals just drop a bunch of tinies on the ground. And you're like, oh, let's stomp them. Let's see if we can hit them on this area. And of course, this pattern is also very great. So this is getting a 3 point in aesthetics from me.